This is the Horse Radio Network. This is episode 48 of Horse Tip Daily. A different horse tip, a different equine topic, a different equestrian expert every day. Horse Tip Daily brings the world of equine knowledge to you one day at a time. Today's topic is sponsored by Equestrian Collections, the whole universe of equestrian shopping at your fingertips at a price you can afford. Enjoy today's tip. I am Glenn the Geek from Lexington, Kentucky, and you're listening to Horse Tip Daily. Well, welcome back, everybody. I just got done recording the Stable Scoop radio show for this week. It'll come out on Friday the 18th, and we had a fascinating show on the personality of your horse. And we had two great guests on, Jean Lambert, who is a psychologist in training here, going to be one shortly, and Dessa Hockley, who wrote a book called Is Your Horse a Rock Star? I'm going to talk a little bit more about this later, as it'll be my Geek's Pick for the week, something cool and free you can do online that I think you're going to find fascinating about your horse. And then I also want to recommend her book. It's just, I've been reading it here this afternoon, and it's just great. I've had a blast reading it. And today, our tip is brought to you by Equestrian Life. And as you know, Equestrian Life is the official social community of the Horse Radio Network. And they do help us out on occasion with tips. We take the audio off of some of the great videos they have over there at Equestrian Life. Today, we have with us Dr. Joanna Robson. She's president of Inspiritus Equine Incorporated in California, and they specialize in teaching the equine public about recognizing pain in their horses. And today she speaks to us about how to check for gut sounds. And we'll do that right after I talk to you a little bit about Equestrian Collections. I talk a lot about Equestrian Collections because they are one of our fantastic sponsors, but there's so much that they have on their website over at equestriancollections.com. And right now, if you go to their homepage, it is all about the fall. What's coming in the way of clothing and in the way of clothing for you and clothing for your horse for the fall and for the winter. So hop on over there. If you're in need of a jacket, if your barn coat's just plain worn out, got holes all over it, and you said this year that you just wouldn't wear it one more year, you need to check out equestriancollections.com. They have what you need at a price you can afford, and they have all the fall and winter stuff you could ever want. So hop on over, check them out, equestriancollections.com. Well, here we are with Dr. Joanna Robson.
Hi, I'm Dr. Joanna Robson. I'm a doctor of veterinary medicine with Inspiritus Equine Incorporated. I'd like to talk to you about how to listen or auscultate for gut sounds on your horse. If you suspect that your horse is colicking, your veterinarian may ask you, what are your horse's gut sounds like? Now, a horse's gut is actually divided into what we call 4 quadrants. The most important thing, invest in a decent stethoscope. Every barn should have a first aid kit available. One of the things you can add to your own personal kit is a stethoscope. It doesn't have to be the most expensive one on the market, but every barn should have one. It's also not a bad idea to keep one in your tack trunk or even in your truck if you go out to the barn regularly. You want to place a stethoscope with the earpieces pointed forward in your ears. You're going to divide the horse's abdomen into 4 quadrants, listening to the upper quadrant and the lower quadrant. And you're going to check for gut sounds on both sides of the horse. Ideally, you should hear movement, or what we call borborygmus, 1 sound every 20 seconds, or 2 to 3 rolls or waves of gut sounds within a minute. Horses that are colicking may be completely silent. You might not hear anything at all. Horses that have colitis or diarrhea sometimes have a very overactive gut sound, what we call hyperactive, constant sound, sometimes easy enough to hear without a stethoscope at all. So in review, if your veterinarian asks you what your horse's gut sounds like, sometimes you can just hear them by placing your ear next to your horse's gut, but much easier for you if you invest in a stethoscope, take the time to listen to your horse to develop what they hear like when they're normal, and then place a stethoscope in each of the 4 quadrants, 2 on each side, to listen to your horse's gut for normal gut sounds.
Well, thanks again to Equestrian Life for providing the audio for a video that they had on their website. And we want to thank Dr. Joanna Robson for providing that as well. You can hop on over to equestrianlife.com to see the video that goes with this audio if you want to watch it in person and see what she was doing with that stethoscope. And today, as I mentioned earlier, I do have a Geek's Pick for you, so here it is. My Geek's Pick for this week is the book, Is Your Horse a Rock Star? As I mentioned, we had the author on the Stable Scoop show that'll come out this coming Friday and the 19th. You can check it out over there. We had a fascinating hour-long conversation with her and Jean Lembrecht. It was great. It was just a lot of fun. They have something neat you can do for free online. If you want to see what your horse's personality is, where they fit in the personality scale, and what she does is she has in the book, and it's called Is Your Horse a Rock Star? She has the 8 personality traits of a horse that she explains: dominant or submissive, energetic or lazy, curious or afraid, or friendly or aloof. And then when you answer the questions about which of those your horse is, it leads to their personality type. And they have some fun types on here: the rock star, the macho man, the wild card, the boss. And there's 16 different types like that, including the goddess and the skeptic, the worker bee. Well, you can hop onto her website at horsepersonality.com, and there's a little quiz you can take to see what your horse's personality would be. But I highly recommend also hopping on to her website or over to Amazon and buying the book, Is Your Horse a Rock Star? It's very well written. It's light. It's not too deep, but it goes through each of the 16 personality types, and it's just a lot of fun. You go through this going, oh, yeah, I had one of those. Oh, yeah, I definitely had one of those. Oh, that was so-and-so. It's just the way you do it when you're going through this. It's a fun book. I recommend it to everybody. Is Your Horse a Rock Star? By Dessa Hockley. Well, if you need to drop me an email, you can do so at Glenn with 2 N's at horseradionetwork.com. And, of course, you can check out all the other great shows at horseradionetwork.com. We do many of them, including the one I just mentioned, the Stable Scoop Show with Helena B. and I. That's it, everybody. Until we meet again tomorrow with another new expert and a different horse tip, stay safe, everyone.